Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the Phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
Welcome to the Asterisk Collusion podcast. You have the King himself. I'm joined here by my compadre, the Grizz. How are you doing, Grizz?
Another interesting week. To say the least, the Miami Dolphins have taken the top off the league, and all eyes are on Miami. And I was joking with a friend over the weekend. If you just had Tua, Mostert, Hill, and he had started, I think it's Arcane. I can't remember how you say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
If you started those four players in Miami, you probably have 150 points just out of those four.
Yeah,
You're a big Dolphins fan. There's Dolphins fans somewhere in fancy laughing his ass off.
I would trade my whole team for those four players right now for last week.
It was crazy stuff going on. I mean, honestly, and let's just get right into it. Kudos to Nate Gate and Goal way out in the lead. And I looked at their teams. I'm like, what are they doing right? One, Goal started Mostert. So a lot of people had him on their bench, or he's like a flex player. But if you're a deeper running back, you could have easily missed out. That happened in one of my other leagues. So, and I'm looking at Nate's team, and I'm actually surprised he's out by that much. I think he's going to need some cushion later in the year. But, kudos to him for being out that far. I think the rest of the league's really tight. But we'll get into the week one match, week three.
I am. Let's take a look. Hold on one second. I'll have to do that later.
You can just edit it in, can't you? Just take your time to screen share and just edit it.
It was going to have to quit and everything, so it's fine.
Okay.
We'll just do it old school. Looking at the week 3 matchups, let's see. We have King versus Gatos. King came out on top of this one. Good bye week for me. Gatos had Josh Allen going off, and Kelsey coming back strong. I guess the Taylor Swift kicking in for him. Other than that was pretty much all I really saw stood out to me for him.
I was so annoyed by Taylor Swift. I mean, that's good Lord have mercy. I mean, really. Let's make our team soft. Let's do some Taylor Swift songs during the game.
Yeah, I mean, still looking at Gato's bench, he is just it's like a mash unit. It's nothing but red.
Williams softened up. Hall, I don't know what's up with Hall and the Jets. Nobody's as bad as the Bears, but Ryan's actually got some good points out of Gabriel Davis so far. Scary Terry is lucky to get 8 points even because the Redskins got obliterated. Kelsey, that's what he does. Elijah Moore played pretty good. I tell you what, I like Cleveland's team as a whole. I know they lost Chubb, but they got a good defense. I think they're going to be around playoff time. Ryan's got a lot of people out still. Watson, Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. Something's going to happen with Taylor here pretty soon. Don't you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going to get traded, and I think Irsay and the Colts just hate him so much. I could actually see him getting very minimal carries, if any. If something's just not right there, and I don't think he's just going to come off the pup list and be like, oh, let's just start for the Colts or something.
So, being realistic, I didn't know that Deontay Johnson was on IR. I was wondering what happened to him last week. I was kind of watching the game sparsely. But looking at that, I mean, Ryan's in big trouble. I think he's going to be fighting for a playoff spot. But if weird things happen, we got a lot of football left.
Yeah.
You had a weird week. Antonio Brown played great. That was a nasty rainy wet game. I think that really played to his skill set where he could go underneath. He's a strong guy. When it's wet, he can outmaneuver guys pretty easily. Zach Moss did great for you. Wow. And Christian Kirk played pretty good. You left some points on the bench though this week. Pierce. You know what? I was going to talk to you about this. You ought to really, I know the Bears are freaking awful, but Denver is equally awful. You ought to really consider looking at Fields this week against Denver.
Fields will be in the starting lineup. Don't worry. That's not a secret.
You gotta look at Roshan.
You're also you must be looking at my roster already.
Well, that was not a pretty game. Both were kind of low scoring, and Gatos is in trouble right now. But let's get into the next matchup.
Drill versus Tuna. Tuna smoked Drill on this one. If there's one team worse than Gatos, it is Drill.
Yeah, Drill's been getting a lot of pub, but he's a champ, so I can't disrespect the champ. Lamar Jackson had 31 points. Tyreek Hill, man, I'm so mad that Tuna still took him before me. Curse the Grizz in round one. That's going to be hurtful. Jacobs has been cold. Najee Harris has been actually. I think the worst pick of the draft so far is Cooper Kupp because we knew he was kind of injured and Baxter's been burned on him before. I'm surprised he was taken. But Najee Harris is awful. Can we talk about that for a second? He's been a huge disappointment. I think every week he's averaging like 6 points. That's just a roster hiccup. And I would put him on the bench and try to find something. And I'll be playing Romeo Dobbs. I told you he's the number one receiver in Green Bay, and he is not getting the publicity he deserves right now, especially with Watson out. But Drill, I'll tell you what, James Cook's looking pretty good. Darren Waller, bust. Nuka's awesome. It's a great pickup. He didn't have any points on his bench other than C.J. Stroud. Weird. He had 28 points. Didn't see that coming. That whole Houston game was they slacked Jacksonville. Nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Who you got next?
Let's see. We're gonna take a look at Houza versus Nate Gate. Nate Gate smoked Houza on this one. Was this the did Nate win high points for the week?
I think
he did. No, it was first. Excuse me.
First went off because of Mostert, but Nate's on fire right now. Look at this. Tua, Diggs, Keenan Allen's the head scratcher for me. This is the best year he's ever had in fantasy. Now Mike Williams is out, but I mean, that's fantasy gold. And James Conner, the Cardinals put a whooping on the Cowboys. I mean, he's got 63 points out of 2 players we kind of cast off. So hey, keep on riding that, Nate Gate. That's awesome. He left some points on the bench. You got Hollywood on the bench, had 17 points almost. That could have been a little bit closer, maybe. Sutton, Myers, and you got Jerry Goff on the bench. I think Hoots has got some roster issues. He needs to do some trading, like we talked about.
Yeah, he does.
That wasn't even a close game just because of those 2 players we just mentioned.
I'm curious, like Keenan Allen with Mike Williams out, is he gonna have like the number 1 receiver year that
I think if he stays healthy, the way it looks, I mean, Herbert looks like what he should have been last year for you. And that's like a sore subject, as we know, but he's on fire. He's throwing great balls. I was watching him. His accuracy is the best in the league, in my opinion. He throws a great ball. And Keenan Allen is slow, but he can fit it right in there. He runs tight windows and gets up there for 2 or 3 plays a game. And as long as Keenan Allen stays healthy, I see him as being a 20-25 point wide receiver every week.
Yeah, well, one thing to look out for Nate Gate. Your studs are Tua and Keenan Allen, and they haven't been known to stay healthy for a whole year.
Yeah, see how it's a long year, but kudos to Nate being in first place. He's in first place by a mile. Other than goal, and those 2 are far ahead, 100 points.
Yeah, I'm out of it. I'm already out of it. Week 3, I'm done. Let's see. Let's take a look at first and goal and LTD. Points winner for the week, smoked LTD.
Oh, our sponsors gotten ripped there. I
He
feel
is.
bad for him. LTD's crying. Even had Mahomes went off like we thought he would. NTN did good. Laporta, look at that. Detroit tight end getting 21 points. Most are getting them as 50 points, and Walker getting 32 points almost. I mean, those two right there got Drill's point total for the week. No disrespect for the champ, but or even Gatos. Those two players, my goodness, that's what makes you the weekly winner. That's amazing.
I will say this: I am blown away. First and Goal has not started Jordan Love yet. I mean, Jordan.
Yep, that's one of our big sleepers this year, and you need to be playing him every week.
Yeah, dude, he's hovering around like he's probably averaging 30 points a game right now. And I'm like, why are you gotta that's his weak. I mean,
You know what I
Gino's
think?
not bad, but
If I'm looking at LTD, honestly, I would look at, call me crazy, I would look at looking at his roster, Patrick Mahomes. Purdy's getting 25 points on us every week. He had 30 this week. You could get something really good for Patrick Mahomes, get a running back or wide receiver. That might, it's risky, but why not? Purdy's playing good.
yeah, Purdy's not bad. And yeah, if he can like bolster his receivers or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
We got next.
let's see. We got Sleeper Magic Mike. Magic
Another,
Mike came out swinging on this one with
had a lot of big
157.
wins. No close games this week.
I know. Kirk Cousins, dude, fantasy gold to
Yeah,
Justin
man.
Jefferson.
That's the matchup. Pickens had a bad week considering with his Deontay Johnson counterpart being out. I thought he would have had a better week. Mixon, Swift's looking good in Philly.
Buffalo defense.
Mike's going to be in it toward the end of the year. I know we have a lot of football left, and I'm not sleeping on Magic. I think he's got a good team, and Sleeper had a good week. Mike Williams is going to hurt. He had 24 points, and he's out. Cooper's been good. Cooper Cup. Yeah, the rest of his roster though. Chase is awesome. He had a good week. He'll bounce back. I mean, I don't know what Montgomery's status is moving forward, but Sleeper's all right. He left 55 or 54 points on the bench with the Miami running back Arcane, and that hurts.
that's
I know that's the kind of stuff nobody knew or saw that coming, but now he's got head games, and I would play him every week until he just fizzles. 54 points on the bench. I know you got to be in the fetal position, sucking your thumb, crying to mom after that.
over there at HPU, man, wondering what the hell's going on.
Weird stuff this week. Buffalo had 33 points for Magic Mike too. Gosh. What do we got next?
We got your matchup versus the Oracle, and you came out. You had a solid week yourself, 135.
It was good. I was hoping for a little bit more. Something, I forget what happened in that match. Let me pull it up here.
Oh, Sam Howell's -4.
Yeah, that was atrocious. He started off okay with Debo and stuff. It says Debo's questionable now. Shaco went off, and I was kind of mad at the Cleveland game because the Tennessee Titans only had 3 points. Well, how do you get 13 points on defense and the other team only scored 3 points? But it was just a really slow game. I'm playing quarterback roulette. I gotta get that right. I like my wide receiver Atwell with the Rams, and I gotta figure out what to do with him because every week he's getting me like 15 points or something, and he had 17 points on my bench again. I just have a hard time putting him in my lineup, and now I got Kamara back. My interesting thing is Ford. Is Ford, you think, got a chance to be a star in the league?
For you?
Yeah, just in general. How good do you think he is after seeing him for 2 weeks do well?
I'm very hesitant with Ford. I mean, I think you definitely you started him at the right time. I worry about Kareem Hunt's addition. Like, will it be more split?
But even split last year with Chubb there. Chubb was still the bell cow, and they were a good 1-2 punch. So I still think there could be a good 1-2 punch. But Ford's what I've been alluding to going back and the star status thing. Like, he's got some breakaway ability, and he can great tackles, and then catch the ball. So I think he does have that number one skill set type of ability.
I might, but I'm going to probably disagree and lean more towards proceed with caution with Ford. But I mean, he gave you 20 points. You got to go with him.
Yeah, some ugly stuff going on last week, and I was hoping that Moore would have done better, knowing that they were going to be down with the Kansas City Chiefs. That game could not have been any worse. And then, basically, Philadelphia Eagles, that game was just boring. And Smith just had 5 points. I was hoping to get about 10 more points out of that matchup. But it is what it is. It's fancy. I think that's the last matchup. Is there any more left?
No, that's it. We're moving into week 4.
Do it.
All right. Let's start off with the King versus Sleeper. This ought to be a funny matchup, if anything. I'm going with some Fields. I'm going with some Roshan Johnson. Kyle Pitts still sucks because tight ends all suck.
I like the matchups this week. There could be some points there. I have you as a sneaky sleeper this week to kind of get up. I think 108 is low for you this week. Let's see here. Sleeper's got his boy in the Miami running back. I think this will be a close game. I think both you guys have good matchups. Mike's got Michael Thomas starting. I don't know what's going on in New Orleans because I don't know what's the status of Carr's injury.
I think I don't know, but I'm pretty sure let's see, Minnesota in the third quarter for injured starter. I'm pretty sure Carr's out, isn't he?
Yeah, it's interesting because Jameis Winston is a veteran. He's been there. He can throw the rock. He's got a strong arm. He's a good backup, I think, in terms of having a backup in the league, but he's a kind of a turnover guy and a guy I don't trust. Now, he gave New Orleans a chance to win last week against the Packers, and they blew it on a field goal. So let's see what Jameis can do. I still think they can run the offense pretty well there, but your matchups are really close. Honestly, I don't trust 2 of his running backs there, and the Eagles in Washington. That's an interesting game as a whole. I'm going to give that game to you. Actually, I think you're going to have a good week this week. I got a feeling.
I like it. Thank you. Let's see. Let's jump to a hated matchup, rivalry game. Drill versus Gatos.
Oh, this is a bloodbath right here.
A lot of garbage.
This is the Alpha Bowl of the year right here, right?
Yeah, whoever wins this is Alpha for the year, Beta for the rest.
He's got 3 empty spots. That just tells you the mindset of Gatos right now. I think he's done that every week this week. Gatos is not looking good right now, and just because of that, I'm just rolling with Drill until Gatos gets some steam going.
And the soft underbelly of the league, Gatos is just rolling over right now. I don't know. I'm going with Drill, but man, this is going to be an ugly game. I don't know if either team breaks 100.
This might be one of those matchups where it's 85 versus 95, but hopefully they get some points and get some steam going. This is ugly.
Yeah. Speaking of ugly, we're going to Huza versus first and goal. I'm not even looking at first team, and I'm going to give him the dub. We'll see what he's still got Geno in the lineup, so we'll see if that changes.
This is interesting. If Mostert and Walker don't get 90 points, Goals has got a really awkward team, and he's just getting major points. I'm looking at the roster, and it's not one of those rosters that scares me, but the Ridley, Walker, Mostert, even Ingram and Pittman, those are all awkward players to me. Even Geno, in a lot of it, anyone, it seems like every single week, 2 or 3 of his guys just go off for huge points. So, like you said, until Goal cools off, he's even got Eckler on the bench, Madison on the bench, and he's still got Jordan Love. He's not listening to our podcast, so he's playing Geno over Love. So, yeah, if you want to win Goal, let's put some love in there.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say this. Calvin Ridley, I know he's been kind of cold the past couple of weeks. I'm actually predicting he's going to go off this week, playing Atlanta. Little hatred game. little revenge game for him.
Yeah, like
I,
that.
I think he's going to have a really big week.
What do you think about who's having Addison, London in the second round draft pick, Stevenson on the bench?
I mean, Addison's sexy right now. London, let me look at London. I don't think London's been, he had one good week and then the rest has been crap. Like I don't mind London. I think that was a bad pick anyway. Addison though, I'll probably be looking at Addison.
I
Of
wouldn't be
course,
a second round draft pick. I like Stevenson a lot, but he's got a. I mean, actually, who's his deep? He's just got some. He didn't have any star-studded guys right now. Like First and Gold's got some stars that we didn't think were going to be so hot. I mean, Walker was great. Even the other running back, Cabernet, was great last week too. He's coming on strong. Seattle's a good team, I think. And
if I'm Hoosier, I'm looking at Jared Goff right now. Like he's been far more consistent of a starter, and I mean the Lions are pretty hot right now.
I wouldn't be. I would play golf over Lawrence.
Yeah,
But I'm still taking Gold this week because he's hot.
that's right. We got Magic Mike versus LTD right now.
That's a really good matchup. That's probably the best matchup of the week, and they got LTD winning right here.
Mhm.
Waddle, but he didn't have a kicker in, so it is what it is. We got Aaron Jones is in there for LTD. Ayuk and Aaron Jones are questionable. If those two are out, he's in trouble, I think. And he's got Godwin he could put in there. I mean, he could still be okay. He's got Herbert on the bench because, yeah, again, if you don't have some of these good guys, like, hey, Magic Mike, just make a trade for Herbert. Yeah, we got some good quarterback play out there, and you got some guys like Cousins, Goff, and Purdy playing well, and you got one of these big star name quarterbacks, and you got a good roster. Unload these guys. Get
Yeah.
a good player. I mean, I like I'm liking the Magic right now. Magic's doing really well. I think he's going to be in the top 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah, Swift's been playing pretty well for him. That's a huge boost. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I don't know what's going on with Waddle. If Waddle's playing, then great. If he's not,
That's his
I
flex. So if you look through his flexes, he didn't really have anybody other than
mm,
the Jigba. His flexes, I mean, with Waddle being out, it's going to hurt him. So, but LTD's got 2 guys also. So I think that's going to be an interesting matchup this week.
that's right. Tight matchup there. Right now we got Big Tuna versus Oracle.
Let's see here, Mr. Tuna and Oracle. Close matchup, 109, 110 projected by Yahoo.
Mm,
Najee Harris, you got to get him out of your lineup, man. They play Houston though, so that might be a game where they pound the ball.
I like that.
Debo got nailed. I think he might be in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Oracle's roster just, man, it just seems very boring. The Burrow and Derrick Henry. I'm just not excited looking at this roster. And I'm just leaning towards Tuna as a whole. It's got more upside to me.
Yeah. I mean, Tariq Hill and Mar Jackson, those could be big points right there. You're right about Najee. He sucks. Jacobs could blow up. Who knows? At some
That's what he
point,
does. Jacobs will
I
have
like.
those 31 weeks.
I'm liking Tank Dell, man. Like he's been pretty solid for the Texans. So yeah.
So was
Wanna-
Nico Collins and stuff. So yeah, I think the flexibility is there more so for Tuna this week, and he's been pretty good this year so far.
Exactly. He's 3-0 versus 0-3. So go for the winner. Now we got the last game. We got Fields of Dreams versus Nate Gate.
Well, this is maybe this would be a great win for me. I didn't realize I was playing Nate Gate, but yeah, this would be awesome if I could knock off Nate Gate this week. And let's see what he's got in his side. He's got the really hot Keenan Allen. Diggs plays Miami. I think that could be a score fest. Pollard
Mhm.
versus New England. I think Pollard will be kept in check. I really don't like the Cowboys right now. It's after getting shellacked by the Cardinals, and I think New England's a better team than the Cardinals. Connor at San Francisco, that's a rough matchup. Andrews has not really done anything spectacular yet. He's got Lockett. I'll be playing Lockett every week, and
Yeah.
he's got Tua on. I would not bench Tua. I don't know why. He's got Daniel Jones over Tua, but
Maybe that'll change
yeah,
because
that'll probably change.
you got to go with Tua, man. Hot hand, dude. Hot hand.
It's hot right now. Um, I think this will be close. The weird thing is, I got Williams, the Denver running back, who's been kind of cold, but I think he's going to get back on track versus the Bears. Devontae Adams went off last week for the Grizz. But I mean, honestly, until Nate Gate cools off, you got to roll with Nate Gate because he's scary right now. I hope I can pull that one off. But yeah, Nate Gate's been awesome so far this year. So roll with hot hand.
Points bonanza, dude. I'm probably leaning towards Nate Gate. So is Kamara, is Kamara officially starting or?
Yep.
Whew. That could be interesting for you, man. That could really boost your season totally.
Yeah, that's what I said. I've had I got some good play out of Ford. Chubb hurt, of course, but hopefully, and my season's not over. It's just like I always think about it. If I had even Diggs or another, like CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown instead of Chubb, and that's how much I think about how much it hurts because that's a big roster hole right there.
I'm sure you're looking forward to DJ Moore versus the Broncos. I'm hoping Fields lights it up.
There's a game to do it. That's the game, and
You know what? I'm actually, looking at all these matchups, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with the Grizz pulling this one out, believe it or not.
I still like my roster. Like I said, I look at goals and Nate's roster, and they're doing really well, but they've had some ridiculous point scores out of guys. And that's what it's all about. But the consistency, I don't see that continuing the whole year. And
Gotcha.
as I said, I think Magic Mike's going to be up there. He's got a good roster. There's a lot of football left. So we're only in week 4. Best of luck to everybody, except Drill and Gatos. You guys are in no man's land right now. We need some LD. We need to get LTD on here and see what we get some thoughts. What do you think?
Oh yeah, dude. I
Early
mean,
early sponsor. We need to get some fire.
yeah, I know. Like maybe it's a little Whisper Creek gets the juices flowing, dude.
That's right, guys. Well, thanks for doing this, Coop, and that's our recap for week 3 and 4. And let's have a fun week of football this week 4 because the last 2 weeks have been absolute. I mean, I'll tell you what, in terms of drama and just craziness across the league, it's been an entertaining year so far.
Oh yeah, good times. And don't forget, we're right and you're wrong. Talk to y'all later.
Adios.